Hello and welcome to the first part of my Scratch tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a menu for your Scratch game. So go inside costumes, then you can delete this one, the Scratch Cats, and just select the Scratch Cats and delete it. We're gonna select the circle tool and draw a circle. You can press shift to make it a perfect circle instead of an oval. So I'm just gonna put it inside the middle, add an outline and make it 10 and make the button blue. Then I'm gonna draw an arrow, which is the icon for the play button. Fill it with white, put it roughly in the middle, and we have our sprite, our costume. Now we're gonna go inside events and select when this sprite is clicked, and we're gonna make it say hello. So now when the sprite is clicked, it says hello. But there's not really any feedback. We don't know when we're hovering above it. So we're just gonna go here, name this one idle, duplicate it by right clicking, and we're gonna name this one hovered and make it slightly darker. Then we're gonna go inside events, when the sprite is clicked, forever, if else, go inside sensing, touching mouse pointer, set switch costume to hovered, and switch costume to idle. So what this does is, if we're touching the button with the mouse pointer, it's gonna set the costume to this, but if we're not touching it, it's gonna set the costume to this. So now it works. But before we continue, I don't know if you see it, but there's a little divot here. So just to fix that, you can go here and make a transparent square, and that'll fix the issue. There we go. So I want to add some more feedback, so we're just going to make the button bigger when it's hovered by putting, if it's touching the mouse pointer, we're going to set the costume to hovered and the size to 120, else to 100. So there we go. But it's a little bit jarring when we touch it. It instantly just goes to 120. So I'm going to show you a trick that I use all the time that is game changing. So first you take a change size by 10 and replace it here. It's important that you take the change size by 10 and not the set size, unless it won't work. Go inside operators, take the multiply operator and the minus operator, put the minus here, then take the size, put it here, put 0.2 and put it here, right click, duplicate here. And what we put here will be the value that it goes to, so I'm just going to make it the same as before, 120 and 100. And now, when you press play, it's so much smoother. Look how smooth that is. Very smooth. And what the 0.2 does here is that if we make it 0.5, for example, it's going to be very quick. If we make it 0.1, it's going to be very slow. I like to put it 0.3. So 0.3 and there we go. So that's the base of our button, but when we click it, it still says hello, but we don't want it to say hello. We want it to take us to our game scene, so we're gonna now implement the scene system. Before we continue with the tutorial, I'm just going to explain what a scene is quickly. A scene is a part of your game. For example, the menu is a scene, the game is a scene, and the settings menu is a scene. The way I implemented the scene system will let you implement any scene you want, like a credit scene or a game over scene, or even different level scenes. My scene system also allows you to easily transition between scenes. So just right click on this variable, rename it to current scene, create a new variable, my scene, and make sure to say it for this sprite only by clicking this. And when it starts, we're gonna set the current scene to the menu, and we're gonna create a new script, set current scene, my scene to menu, And now we're gonna take forever here. We're gonna take this operator, which checks if there's A, for example, in Apple, which is true, but if we check if there's A and O, it returns false. So we're gonna use this to check if the current scene is the same as the scene we want the button to be inside. So we're just gonna make this an if-else statements and show and hide. So now this script will check if the my scene, which is the menu, is the same as the current scene, and if it is, we show the button, else we don't, and we're gonna simply make the current scene the game when we click the button. So now when we click the button, it disappears. So I'm just gonna make a placeholder game scene. So I'm just gonna make game like this. There we go. And I'm just gonna drag this script inside, like click it and drag it in here. If there's a little green thing, that means it's work. And we're just gonna set the scene to game. So now, and I'm just gonna set it to 0, 0. And now when we click the play button, it goes to the game. So here you can just put this script in every single object in the game, and you can just make a simple menu like this. But I'm just gonna show you a couple of other use cases. So I'm quickly gonna make a settings menu. So first I'll change the position of the button to -50 and 0, and make the settings button 50, 0. And I'm just gonna change the icon of the settings button. Most settings buttons are a wrench, so I'm just gonna draw a wrench quickly, like this, and I'm gonna put it here. And we want to set the scene to settings when it's clicked. So now we have both of these buttons, and when we click this scene, it sets it to the settings. Okay, now we're gonna make a on/off button, which for the music, for example. So I'll just duplicate the settings button. I'll rename this idle on, sorry, and hovered on. And I'll copy both of these. And rename it to hovered off and idle off. And I'm just gonna draw a big red bar here, and I'm gonna select it, make it thicker, maybe 20, put it more in the middle and make it red, copy and paste. So we want this button to, we're gonna use this button to check if to change the music from on or off. So I forgot to change the icon. Just gonna draw a music notes like this. Beautiful. And I'll replace it in every single costume. So now, if we set my scene to settings, when we click the settings menu, this button will appear. So now we can start working on the logic for this. So we're going to create a new variable, sound. Then we're going to create an if-else and a equal sound off. So we want to click it. We want it to be, so when we click it, we want to set it to the other state. So if it's off, we want it to be on, and if it's on, we want it to be off. It's basically an on-off switch. So now, when we click it, if you watch the variable here, this one, it set it to on and off. But it doesn't really do anything right now, so it doesn't give any feedback to know if it's on or off. So we're gonna modify this script. We're gonna create an if else, right click, duplicate. We can right click and duplicate this and switch this to off. So hovered off, idle off. So now this script will check if the sound is off. If it is, we're going to show the off costumes, and if it's not, we're going to show the on costumes. So now if you go here, we made a toggle button. Right now we can't go back to the actual menu, so I'm just going to duplicate this button, draw a little house, which is the icon for the menu. And I'm just gonna paste it here, and we're gonna set the currency to menu, and we want it to be in settings. So now I forgot to change the precision. Minus 100, 100. So now when I click the settings menu, I can go back to the menu. Thank you for watching this Scratch tutorial. In the next part of this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make sliders and drop-down menus. You can find a link to this project in the description. See you soon.